Hello, my name is Grace Briantis. I'm a family nurse practitioner student. I'm here to test your cranial nerves today. So we're going to go ahead and start with checking your nasal patency. So I'm going to go ahead and press down if you can breathe out. Okay, and next. Okay, perfect. Alright. So I'm going to have you close your eyes and I'm going to give you two different things to smell. You tell me what you smell, okay?
Cinnamon.
Okay. And next one.
Vanilla.
Okay. Thank you. So now that cranial nerve 1 olfactory is intact, now we will be checking cranial nerve 2, which is the optic nerve. So we're going to have you read the lowest line on the Snellen chart that you can. You can cover your first eye.
Lepodpot. Oops.
And then with your next one.
Lefodpot.
Okay, and with both.
Lefodpct.
There you go. Okay, perfect. So you're about a 20/20, meaning with your glasses. And that just means that what the normal eye can see at 20 feet, you can see with your glasses. So your glasses are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So now we're going to go ahead and do the wiggle test. I'm going to put my fingers on the side of your face. You tell me when you can see them in your peripheral vision, okay? So if you can take your glasses off for me.
No.
Okay. And then I will now be looking at your optic fundi. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just take a look from a distance. And then I'll get a little closer. Okay. So the optic fundi is intact. No sign of hemorrhaging. No signs of any bulging. Veins and arteries were observed. So that was cranial nerve 2, the optic. Now we'll move on to 2 and 3, which is the optic and the ocular motor. So for this one, I am going to just be taking a look at your eyes. Okay. And so the pupils were a 3. When I shone the light on them, they constricted down to a 2. So pupils are equal, round, and reactive to light and accommodation. So now I am going to have you try the sensory test. So we're going to have you look at this 10 centimeters away from the patient. Now go ahead and take a look into the distance. Look at the pen and look in the distance. Okay. So no extraocular movements there. The transition from the pupils and the eyes were nice and smooth. And that was that. Now we are going to be moving on to 3, 4, and 6, which is the ocular motor, the trochlear, and the abduction. So with that, I am going to have you, with only your eyes, follow my pen. Okay. And then I will also have you with only your eyes. Okay, thank you. Again, no extraocular movements there. Transition with the eyes were nice and smooth. So now we will move on to cranial nerve 5, which is the trigeminal. So I'm going to palpate your temporal, and your masseters. You can clench your teeth really tight for me. Okay, again. All right, so muscles are nice and strong there on both sides. So now I am going to use the Q-tip. I would like you to close your eyes for me, and then you tell me when you feel me touch and tell me where I'm touching.
Cheek.
Okay. At this time, I would also verbalize that I would do the cranial reflex, where I would use the tip of the Q-tip and put it on the cornea and have the patient look up and down, but we're not going to do that assessment today. So that is cranial nerve 5. Now we're going to move to cranial nerve 7. Testing the facial. Cranial nerve 7 is for facial, so if you can go ahead and raise your eyebrows for me. Okay, and go ahead and smile and frown and poof your face out for me. Close your eyes really tight and show me your teeth. Okay, cranial nerve 7 is intact. Moving on to acoustic, cranial nerve 8. So I am going to do a whisper test. I'll just whisper a word in your ear. You tell me what I said.
Water.
Yep.
ABC.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
1, 2, 3.
So now we are going to do the Weber test. I am going to place this in the center of your head. If you can tell me if you hear it, and if you do hear it, if you can tell me if the sound is equal on both sides.
Oh.
Both sides? Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and do the Renee test. So with this, I will strike the fork on my hand, place the tip of the fork on your bone. You tell me when you can no longer hear it. When you cannot hear it, I will move it closer to your ear, and then you tell me when you can start hearing it again, okay? Okay, and then we'll try the other side.
I hear it.
Okay, so bone density is greater, air density is greater than bone density by about 5 seconds. So acoustic is intact. So now we move on to the the glossopharyngeal and the vagal. So with that, I would pay attention to the patient's voice and the tone, which I have been doing throughout the assessment. Then with the glossopharyngeal, I will take a look into the mouth. If you can open, say ah.
Ah.
Okay, soft palate moves up and down. There are no lesions. Appears moist. And then, so that's okay. And then we would do cranial nerve 11, which is the spinal accessory. So I'm going to place my hands on your shoulders. You're going to lift them. You'll feel some resistance, but just continue to do so. Okay, good. Then I'm going to put it on the side of your face. Give me some resistance. Okay, and the next one. Good. Okay, so cranial nerve 11 is intact. Then we would do cranial nerve 12, which is hypoglossal. So again, I'm going to be looking in the mouth, but specifically at the tongue. So there are papillae evenly distributed. Tongue is pink. If you can move side to side for me. Okay, next. All right, no lesions, bumps, bleeding. And then if I needed to, I could have the patient press their tongue on the inside of their cheek as I palpated from the outside to test for strength, but his tongue did not deviate when I asked him to move it, so I wouldn't have to do that at this time. And that is the end of the cranial nerves. Thank you.